Guys, and welcome back to yet another video on our series of videos on standard 4.NF.3c. In this particular lesson, you guys are going to learn how to subtract a fraction from a mixed number. And I want us to really quickly look at this equation. Yes, it is in fact an equation. I have 3 oranges and 2 apples, and I want to take away 1 apple. Can I do it? I most certainly can. I would be left with 3 oranges and 1 apple. The reason why I still have those oranges is because I did not subtract any oranges on the other side. So my oranges are just going to be brought over to my answer. So I have 3 oranges and 1 apple. But guys, let's think about this with numbers. What if instead of those oranges, what if each orange represents 1 whole? So 1 orange equals 1 whole. And what if instead of just an apple, I want those apples to represent 1/3. So 1 apple equals 1/3. I have 1, 2, 3 oranges. So I have 3 wholes. And I have 1, 2 apples. So I have 2 thirds because each apple represents 1/3. And I want to take away 1 apple or 1/3. It's the same idea. You'll notice that there's no oranges being subtracted or no wholes being subtracted on the other side. So I'm simply just going to bring over my 3. And now I'm going to focus on my fractions. I have 2/3 and 1/3, or 2 apples minus 1 apple, which leaves me with 1/3 or 1 apple. But sometimes, you guys, it's not always that easy. Let's try another problem. In this problem, I have 1, 2, 3 oranges and 1, 2 apples, and I want to take away 3 apples. Can I do that? Can I take away 3 apples from 2 apples? Nope, I absolutely cannot. But what if I go ahead and I think back to my previous problem and I said I want each orange to represent 1 whole and each apple is going to represent 1/6. That means that 1 apple is 1/6 of an orange. In other words, that means that 1 orange, being that 1 orange is a whole, that means that 1 orange equals 6/6 or 6 apples. So that means, guys, that I can actually take away 1 orange. Let's go ahead and get rid of that orange. And I'm going to give 1 whole or 1 orange to my apples. Remember, 1 orange equals 1 whole or 6/6. So how many 6ths would I be giving to my apples? If you said 6/6, you are absolutely correct. I'm going to be giving 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 apples or 6/6 or 1 whole because each orange represents 1 whole. You'll notice, you guys, I no longer have 3 oranges. I have 2 oranges because I gave 1 orange to my apples and I turned them into 6 apples. Now can I subtract? I most certainly can. I now have 8 apples and I'm going to take away 3 apples. So I know that I have 5 apples left or 5/6 because remember, each apple represents 1/6. And I have 1, 2 oranges left, so I have 2 wholes. You guys, let's do this exact problem just using numbers. This is the same problem. 3 oranges, 2 apples, minus 3 apples. or 3 2/6 minus 3/6. You guys, I already know I can't do it, but I'm also going to make sure that I put my little thought bubble on the side and I write down notes just so we can all be on the same page. Remember, 1 orange equals 1 whole, and 1 apple equals 1/6. Let's keep going. I know I cannot take away 3 apples from 2 apples or 3/6 from 2/6. But I can borrow 1 orange, which is equivalent to 1 whole, and now I would be left with 2 oranges. If I give my apples or my 2/6 1 whole, how many sixths would I have altogether? Remember, I have 2/6, and I would be adding 1 whole, or 6/6. How many sixths would I have here now? If you said 8/6, you are absolutely correct. So now I have 2 8/6, and I'm taking away 3/6. Now can I do it? I most certainly can. 8/6 minus 3/6 equals 5/6. And we know that our 2 wholes, or let's think of it as oranges, none of these were subtracted from anything else. So all I'm going to do is simply just bring down my 2 wholes. So guys, I know that 3 2/6 minus 3/6 equals 2 5/6. Let's try one more problem. This problem, I have 4 1/5, and I want to take away 3/5. In other words, I have 4 wholes or 4 oranges and 1 apple, and I want to take away 3 apples. I cannot do it. Let's go ahead and jot down our notes on our side just so we don't forget what each of these pictures and what each of these numbers represent. So 1 orange equals 1 whole. And 1 apple equals 1/5, because I know from my equation I'm in fifths. Now let's get started. Remember, I have 4 oranges, so 4 1/5. I'm going to rewrite it. Minus 3/5. You guys, I don't have enough fifths in order to take away 3/5. I only have 1 of them. So we're going to do the same thing we did for our previous problem. I know that 1 orange equals 1 whole, and 1 apple equals 1/5 of an orange. So I know, guys, that if I take 1 of my oranges from 4 oranges altogether, that leaves me with how many oranges? Awesome. That leaves me with 3 oranges. Now, you guys, I now have 3 oranges. And I gave 1 orange or 1 whole to my apples, or to 1/5. So I gave my apples 5/5 because 1 whole equals 5/5. How many fifths do I now have if I added 5/5 to 1/5? Awesome job. I have 6/5. Now, you guys, I'm able to take away 3/5 because I have enough fifths to do so. 6/5 minus 3/5 equals 3/5. And there's no other oranges or no other whole numbers that I can subtract. So I'm simply just going to bring down my 3 wholes. So 4 1/5 minus 3/5 equals 3 3/5. Thank you guys so much for watching this video on subtracting fractions from whole numbers. I really hope it was helpful, and I really hope that you are able to use our new strategy and sort of understand why we are borrowing from whole numbers in order to give to fractions. I'll see you guys in our next video.